Eastern Front, 1943. A German Panzer crew sits inside their new tank, the Panther, Germany's answer to the Soviet T-34. They've been told it's invincible, the weapon that will turn the tide of war. The engine roars to life. The crew advances toward the enemy. Suddenly, without warning, without enemy fire, flames erupt from the engine compartment. The transmission seizes. The tank is immobilized, burning. The crew has 30 seconds to escape before ammunition cooks off and the tank explodes. They weren't hit by the enemy. Their own tank tried to kill them. Private Hans Becker, Panther crewman, later wrote, "We feared our own tank more than we feared the Russians. The Russians you could see coming. The Panther could kill you at any moment, for no reason." This is the story of German wonder weapons, the Wunderwaffen, that were supposed to win the war. Cutting-edge technology, revolutionary designs, the future of warfare. There was just one problem. They killed Germans almost as efficiently as they killed the enemy. This is the story of the Nazi weapon that terrified Germans more than the enemy. The mythology. Nazi Germany cultivated an image of technological superiority. German engineering was supposed to be the best in the world, precise, reliable, advanced. Nazi propaganda showcased jet aircraft, Me-262, rocket weapons, V-1, V-2, super heavy tanks, Tiger, King Tiger, advanced submarines, Type 1I-1, wonder weapons that would win the war. Joseph Goebbels, Nazi propaganda minister, 1944. Our enemies have numbers, but we have quality. One German weapon is worth 10 of theirs. Our scientists have developed weapons the world has never seen. Victory is inevitable. The reality. German weapons were often technologically advanced, but advanced doesn't mean effective. Many German wonder weapons suffered from over-engineering, too complex to produce or maintain. Rushed development, deployed before testing complete. Resource shortages, not enough materials for proper construction. Ideological priorities over practical effectiveness. Desperation, trying anything to reverse losing situation. The result? Weapons that looked impressive, but killed their own crews through mechanical failure, design flaws, and operational hazards. The worst offender. While many German weapons had problems, one stands out as particularly deadly to its own side. The Panther tank, Panzerkampfwagen Panther. Introduced in 1943, the Panther was supposed to be Germany's response to the Soviet T-34, a medium tank with heavy tank firepower, excellent armor, and high speed. On paper, it was formidable. 75 mm caliber, 42 L-70 gun, one of the best tank guns of the war. Sloped armor, excellent protection. 700 horsepower engine, high speed for its weight. Advanced optics and fire control. In reality, it was a death trap for its own crew. Problem number 1. Engine and transmission fires. The Panther's Maybach HL-230 engine and transmission were chronically prone to catching fire, spontaneously, without enemy action. Why? Overstressed engine. The 700 HP engine was powerful but under tremendous stress. It ran hot, very hot. Cooling was inadequate. Fuel system leaks. Fuel lines were poorly sealed. Vibration from driving caused leaks. Hot engine plus leaking fuel. Fire. Transmission failure. The Panther's transmission was notoriously fragile. When it failed, often, metal parts ground together, creating sparks. Sparks plus fuel vapor. Explosion. Oil system problems. The engine consumed oil at alarming rates. Low oil. Overheating. Fire. Statistics. In the Panther's first major deployment, Battle of Kursk, July 1943, more Panthers were lost to mechanical failure and fires than to enemy action. 200 Panthers deployed, 160 broke down or caught fire within first 2 days. many before seeing combat crews terrified of their own vehicles. Crew testimony. Panther crewman Otto Carius, later a tank ace, described his first experience. The Panther caught fire on the way to the front. We hadn't even seen the enemy yet. The transmission seized, the engine overheated, and flames shot from the engine deck. We barely escaped before the ammunition exploded. This was supposed to be our wonder weapon. Problem sort 2. Final drive failures. The Panther's final drives, gears connecting transmission to tracks, were catastrophically weak relative to the tank's weight. The issue: Panther weighed 45 tons. Final drives were designed for 30 to 35-ton vehicle. They failed regularly, often within 150 kilometers of operation. Expected lifespan: 150 kilometers, compared to Sherman, 4,000 plus kilometers. Consequences: when final drive failed, tank immobilized, crew stranded. Often happened in combat zones. Crew had to abandon tank or wait for recovery, often impossible. Tank destroyed by crew or captured by enemy. Problem number 3. Track problems. Panther tracks were over-engineered and under-reliable. Issues: interleaved road wheels. The Panther used overlapping, interleaved road wheels, complex design for better ride. Problem: mud, snow, or debris jammed between wheels, immobilizing tank. In Russian winter, ice froze wheels solid overnight. Track pins sheared. The pins holding track together broke under stress, causing track to come off. When track threw in combat, tank immobilized instantly. Sitting target for enemy crew, often killed trying to repair under fire. Problem number 4. Ammunition storage. Early Panthers stored ammunition in sponsons, side compartments, with inadequate protection. Consequence: even glancing hits to the side could penetrate sponson, detonate ammunition, and blow the turret off, killing entire crew instantly. Later models improved this, but early Panthers were death traps if hit from side. Problem number 5. Crew escape. The Panther's hatches were difficult to open from inside, especially under stress. Problem: when tank caught fire, common, crew had seconds to escape. Difficult hatches meant some crew members died trying to get out of their own burning tank. Redesigns improved this, but early models killed crews through poor ergonomics. Testimony. Number 1. Fear of your own tank. Hans von Luck, Panzer commander. The Panther was a magnificent machine when it worked, but you were always listening for the sound, the grinding, the overheating, the smell of burning oil. You knew that at any moment your tank might become your coffin. We joked, darkly, that the Panther killed more Germans than it killed Russians. Testimony. Maintenance nightmare. Otto Carius, tank ace. Maintaining a Panther took twice the time of a Panzer IV and 3 times the parts. We spent more time repairing than fighting. And the parts, we never had enough. We cannibalized broken Panthers to keep others running. Sometimes we had 10 Panthers, but only 3 operational. Testimony. Number 3. The Terror of Fire. Anonymous Panther crewman, 1944. I survived 3 Panthers catching fire. The first time, I got out with burns. The second time, our radio operator didn't make it. The hatch jammed. The third time, I refused to crew Panthers anymore. They shot me for cowardice. I recovered from my wounds in a field hospital. I'd rather be shot than burn alive in a Panther. Testimony for number 4. Compare to Allied tanks. American Sherman crews had their own complaints. Shermans burned easily when hit, Ronsons. But mechanical reliability wasn't one. A Sherman could drive 4,000 plus kilometers between major breakdowns. A Panther was lucky to make 150 kilometers. British tanker on captured Panther. We tested a captured Panther. Impressive gun, good armor. Drove it 50 kilometers before the transmission failed. Tried to repair it. Impossible without specialized tools and parts. We set it on fire and went back to our Cromwells. At least they run. Testimony 4.5. The Soviet perspective. Soviet tank crews actually preferred facing Panthers to other German tanks. The Tiger we feared. Reliable, heavy armor, powerful gun. The Panther. Half of them broke before reaching us. The other half, we killed. We joked that Germany's factories were our best ally. How did Germany produce a tank that killed its own crews as efficiently as the enemy? Factor number 1, rushed development. The Panther was developed in response to the Soviet T-34, which shocked German forces in 1941. Timeline: November 1941. Germans encounter T-34, shocked by its capabilities, Corey 1942. Panther development begins May 1943. First Panthers produced July 1943. Panthers deployed at Kursk, disaster. 18 months from concept to battlefield. For comparison, American Sherman took 3+ years of development and testing before major deployment. The rush meant insufficient testing. Design flaws not discovered until combat. No time to fix problems before production. Crews became test subjects. Factor number 2, over-engineering. German engineering culture valued sophistication and performance over simplicity and reliability. Compare: German approach, make it as advanced as possible. Interleaved road wheels, complex, better ride, maintenance nightmare. Advanced optics, excellent but delicate. Powerful engine, impressive performance, chronic reliability issues. Soviet approach, make it work, keep it simple. T-34 had crude but reliable components, easy to repair in field. Worked in extreme conditions, Russian winter, mud. American approach, mass produce reliability. Sherman was simple, reliable, easy to maintain. Could be produced in massive numbers. Crews could repair in the field. The Panther was a maintenance nightmare, requiring specialized tools, trained mechanics, and constant parts, none of which were available in wartime. Factor number 3, resource shortages. By 1943-44, Germany faced severe material shortages. Quality steel, limited, needed for all weapons. Trained workers, conscripted into military time. Pressure to produce quickly. Result: substitute materials used, weaker. Forced labor used, less skilled, sometimes sabotage. Quality control suffered, production quotas, prioritized over reliability. Factor number 4, ideological blindness. Nazi ideology emphasized German superiority. This created denial of problems. Reports of Panther failures were dismissed as crew error or sabotage, not design flaws. Propaganda over reality. Goebbels continued claiming German weapons were superior even as they failed catastrophically. Top-down pressure. Engineers and commanders who reported problems faced punishment for defeatism. This created a system where bad weapons continued production because no one could admit they were bad. Factor number 5, desperation. By 1943, Germany was losing. Desperate for a wonder weapon to reverse the tide, they deployed unfinished designs hoping they'd work. They didn't. The Panthers record. Production. 6,000 Panthers produced, 1943 to 1945. Combat effectiveness. When operational, formidable weapon, excellent gun and armor. But availability rate, 31 to 40%, most broken at any given time. Compared to Sherman, 85% plus availability. Losses. Approximately 60% of Panthers lost to mechanical failure and abandonment, 40% lost to enemy action. Many Panthers destroyed by their own crews to prevent capture after breakdown. Crew survival. High casualty rate from fires, explosions, and inability to escape burning vehicles. Exact numbers unknown, but significant portion of crew losses were non-combat. The brutal math: if you were a Panther crewman, 60% chance your tank breaks down before combat. If it doesn't break, good chance it catches fire. If it catches fire, 50% chance you escape unharmed. If enemy hits you, ammunition might detonate. If you survive all that, next battle repeats the odds. Some crews refuse to crew Panthers, facing court-martial for cowardice. Compare to Tiger. The Tiger, despite its reputation, was actually more reliable than the Panther. Better engine transmission match, better final drives. Still over-engineered but functional, Panther crews envied Tiger crews. At least Tigers didn't catch fire spontaneously. Improvements. Later Panther models, AOS-4G, late 1944, fixed some problems. Better ammunition storage, improved engine cooling, stronger final drives. But by then, Germany lacked resources for major production, and the improvements came too late. Other German wonder weapons with similar problems, V2 rocket, killed more people building it, slave labor, than it killed with attacks. Inaccurate, expensive, ineffective militarily. Resources wasted that could have built conventional weapons. 163 Comet rocket interceptor. Fuel was so volatile, it dissolved pilots if it leaked. More pilots died from fuel accidents than combat operational time. 7 minutes, almost useless militarily. King Tiger, Tiger II. Even heavier than Panther, 70 tons, even more unreliable. So heavy it broke bridges, consumed fuel at catastrophic rates once. 1. Complexity is not superiority. Simple, reliable weapons. Win wars. Advanced features mean nothing if weapon doesn't work. 2. Testing matters. Rushing weapons to battlefield without testing kills your own troops. Deploy now, fix it later, doesn't work in War 3. Logistics matter more than performance. Best tank in the world is useless if it can't reach the battlefield reliability. Peak performance. 4. Propaganda can't replace reality. Claiming your weapons are superior doesn't make them superior. Believing your own propaganda leads to disaster. 5. Desperate measures usually fail. Wonder weapons, born of desperation, rarely work as hoped. Better to focus on proven, reliable designs. The Panther tank represents one of history's great ironies. A weapon so advanced, it killed more of its own side than a simpler weapon would have. German crews didn't fear the Panther because it was ineffective against the enemy. When it worked, it was formidable. They feared it because at any moment, without warning, their own tank might become their tomb. Fire. Mechanical failure, explosion, immobilization in combat. The Panther killed Germans in every way imaginable. Final testimony. Anonymous Panther crewman. We called the Panther der rollende Sarg, the rolling coffin. Every time we climbed in, we wondered if this would be the time. Would the transmission fail? Would the engine catch fire? Would we get hit and the ammunition explode? Or would we be lucky and only face the enemy? Facing the enemy was the least dangerous part of crewing a Panther. The lesson: technology wins wars only when it works. Advanced designs mean nothing if they kill your own troops. The Nazi wonder weapons were wonderful. Wonderful at proving that propaganda, desperation, and over-engineering are no substitute for reliability, testing, and reality. The weapon that terrified Germans more than the enemy wasn't in enemy hands. It was their own.